Alright, what's good, guys? It's Bar Times 2, and today we're back here on GTA 5 with another video for you guys today. Now, if you guys have seen my intro and outro, or you're big fans of the channel, or you've seen a couple of my speed glitches on YouTube and whatnot, you should already know exactly what this car is. This is my rendition of the Nissan Skyline R32, 33, and 34, because it's not based solely off of one version of the GTR. It has customization parts from each of the cars. Like, for example, when we go to customize the car, I'll show you guys that one of the front splitters is actually based off the R34. But I made version 2 of this after we got account reset, and this is my new account. Obviously, I'm only a level 104, so this is version 2 of the car, and I'm going to show you guys how to make it if you guys want to copy it. There is one thing, though. The color that is on it right now is a neon orange, and that is a modded color that is in our crew. And you can only put it on your car if you're in the crew, and you can see right now that the crew is full. We have the max of 1,000 members. However, if you are in the crew, you can obviously put the color on, but if you're not in the crew, I'm gonna put the hex code at the top right of the screen right now, and I'll let it sit there for a second. If you guys want to make your own crew just solely to get the color for this car, because I am changing the crew color at the end of this week, well, next week, and gonna go ahead and kick some people out of the crew, and we're gonna have another modded color in the crew also. So if you want to make your own car, or you want to make your the car like this in this exact color, then you can use that hex code. Or if you don't want to do that, I'll show you a color that's very similar to it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into how to make my intro car version 2. So let's take it to the garage real quick, and we'll get right into it. So obviously you're gonna need an Elegy Retro Custom. If you don't know how to do that, all you got to do is buy a free Elegy, take it to Benny's, take it to your office garage, take it to the arena if you have the Benny's mechanic in there, and just upgrade it to this car. I think it's about $900,000 to upgrade. Starting off, I keep the armor around 80 to 40% for some speed glitches on this car. There's about 3 different methods on this car. They require around 40% armor. Of course, maxed out brakes. And now we get the front bumpers. So I have the painted extended splitter on, but the stock bumper is actually based off of more of an R34 style look. As you can see, it's got those like 2 ducts down there, and that's kind of what you see on a lot of R34s. There's a couple on R32s and whatnot also, but right to the rear bumper, we're keeping it stock. We used to have the rear diffuser on, but I just don't like how much it struts out of the car and how it just doesn't look good, especially with only one exhaust. Bumper accessories for the bumper mesh, we have remove bumper mesh. I just kind of like it. Exposing the intercooler on the bottom. I kind of like it a little bit. I don't know why. Intercoolers, of course, we got the large logo monster intercooler. This thing is huge. I like how this one's flush, but I also like how you can kind of see the down piping. I think that's what that is down there. Just going straight up to the turbo. So I like it a lot better than just the flush one. Because the flush one, I don't know why. It's just too long for me. I like this one the best. Alright, now chassis. We don't have any headlight trim on. I don't really like any of these, and this isn't a track car. This is a street build for it, so I didn't really think they'd be necessary. Doors, we got the stock doors also. Fenders, we have the wide angular rear fenders. Kind of make it look like a somewhat wide body in a way. I don't know, I really like how the body kind of struts away from the actual shell of the car back here. And it's kind of pointed. It's got a little bit of like a Rocket Bunny kit kind of on it. I don't really like these because they kind of suck in the wheel too much. If we were able to edit the track width of the car itself in the game and of the tires and stuff like that, then I would probably go with something like this, these bolt-ons. But we can't, so it's just kind of encasing the wheel, and the fitment looks awful. I'll put it that way. Now for the engine block itself, I have the primary valve covers. And the cam cover is actually carbon, because I wanted to go with an orange and carbon kind of look on this, with a couple of slight carbon accents on the entire car. Strut brace is also carbon, just to kind of break up some of that orange. Engine tunes, of course, maxed out. We're gapping people around here. So I did want to go with the race exhaust. It really does bother me that there's a second cut over there where the exhaust is, because you don't ever really see a whole lot of GTRs with dual exhausts. So it kind of bothered me. Mine used to have one just because I didn't like having the bumper cut out, so I used to go with this twin chrome tip, I'm pretty sure, for the intro car. Just because it covered up that ugly cutout. But honestly, I just am way more thankful for this huge race exhaust because it's bigger, it's a big can, and it's, I don't know, I just really like the singular exhaust. For the grille, we have the black surround. I've been thinking about changing this to carbon, but we can't change the trim of the headlight ducts, so that's the reason I'm keeping it black instead of carbon, because you can't really change the color of those headlight ducts, and it, I don't know, it just looks better if it all looks together in my eyes. For the hood, the accessories, we got the carbon hood lip, kind of covers up the top bit of that mesh, and I really like how it kind of pokes out and kind of gives it that aggressive look of the R34. Now the hood, we have the carbon extreme hood. You see a lot of these hoods on the R32s, 33s, and 34s. I don't know why, I just love how massive it is and how aggressive it looks. This one's not too bad either. You see a lot of these on the R32s also, but I don't know, I just really love how aggressive that hood is. So that's why I've always went with that one. That is going to be like a centerpiece of the car. I don't think that'll ever change. For the interior, now the trim design, we do have a sun strip. I don't know why, I just really like the sun strip on this car. Even I wish we could like put our own lettering on it, or maybe it could match the Annis one. I don't know why we can't just have like a manufacturer one for every car, but it is what it is. The trim color, I went with like a stone, kind of like gunmetal gray. It's stone silver in game, but I really like the gunmetal. It kind of matches the rest of the car to keep it looking solid in there. I did want to go with like a bright orange or something, but I don't know. At one point, I just felt like there was too much orange on the car, so that's why we didn't go for that. Now, we do have the street interior. The car used to have a stripped one, I think, but I just got really tired of having the fuel cell in the back, and like I said, this is a street build, not a track build, so I wanted to go more street. Obviously, we've got some gauges and stuff, and the floorboards are stripped, and we've got a pretty big e-brake, and I think we might have a pretty big shifter in there too, but for the most part, I wanted to keep the interior somewhat stockish. For the dials, we went with the pod, tacho, and dash gauges, just because I wanted to fill up some of that dash. It was kind of empty, and a lot of imported Japanese Skylines, R34s, R33s, R32s, whatnot, almost always have some kind of like dash gauge cluster. So I went with that. I just thought it was pretty cool, so we went with that. Doors, no customization at all. I was thinking about carbon door cards. I actually may end up putting on carbon door cards. I don't know, I like them, but like I said, I still like the gunmetal gray we got going on the interior, so I might just, I don't know. We'll go with carbon door cards. Alright, so I have carbon door cards in. No, we're not going with it. I don't like how it fits with the dash. So we're going to keep just none for the doors at least. Seats, we have the carbon sports seats. The carbon is basically just on the outside or the back of the seats, just kind of what's like the little bucket that's holding them. But I like the sports seats a lot more than all of these, and the stock ones just don't really look that good, like more like sedan seats, so I went with the carbon sports seats. Steering wheels is the Sprint Clubman.
No Russian.
I don't know, I just like all the buttons, and this seems like a lot more retro, like some of the quick release wheels you see in cars nowadays. I can't remember what brand it is, but for the life of me, but I don't know, I really like this brand, so just kind of went with that, something simple and sleek. Went with just frost white to be able to see these a lot better. If we'd went with like a bright orange, I don't know, they're kind of hard to see just because they blend in with the black so much, so frost white just to be able to see our speedometer a little bit better. And went with no roll cage because, like I said, this is a street build, so we're kind of keeping it street for the most part. I don't think we have any. We might have orange headlights on. No, we have bright white headlights on, which you can change in the arena. So they're just bright white. They used to be orange, but like I said, street build, so I'll put on the bright white ones instead. No livery. Obviously, you should already have tracker and full coverage on. Plates, remove the front plate holder. And in the back, we went with yellow and black with, of course, the bar times 2. You can't leave it out of... this is on every single one of my cars now. So, of course, we got the bar times 2 plate on, but, of course, you can have whatever you want on it. If you can't make custom plates, so be it. But, of course, we got the black, or yellow on black for the actual plate itself. Now respray, like I said, if you guys don't have our neon orange crew color, what you can do instead, if you don't want to make your own crew and use the hex code, I'll go ahead and put the hex code on the screen again up at the top for you guys if you do want to make your own crew and try to use this color. But if you don't, this is about the closest color you can get to it. This is the brightest orange in the game, and you can see that on the trunk and on like the roof of the car, that's the crew color, but this is about as bright as you can get, and this is, I think, the old color I used to have on my intro car. If not, it was just regular orange, I think. You can go with either or, to be honest. Bright orange is probably the closest, but as you can tell, it's, I don't know. I don't think anything's outbeating that neon orange. It's just so bright, and then it glows in the dark basically sometimes too, so it's just way brighter than any other orange in the game. So of course we have that on both the primary and secondary. The trim color, like I said, again, is just stone silver. Don't have my crew emblem on the car. For the roof, no accessories at all. Just didn't really like the vents. I don't know, more of like a time attack or track build, and like I said, we're going for street build here. We do have the roof spoiler on. I think it really matches with the body lines of the car pretty well, especially with this pretty massive little semi-wide body kit we have going on in the back. It kind of matches the curvature of that, so I really like that. Carbon wouldn't look too bad either, but I really just like how the orange meshes all together. For these skirts, we went with the carbon extensions just to throw a little bit more carbon on the car. Like I said, I wanted to throw pieces of it here and there, but I, for the most part, wanted this thing to stay pretty orange. So it sticks out, and the reason I made this car in the first place was to be different from everybody else. Like, everybody's normally making, like, full-on replicas of real life, like, R32s, 33s, and 34s that they've seen in real life. And I wanted to make my own, and of course, orange is my favorite color, so that's kind of why we're doing this today. I think I used to have the drift skirts on, but really the only skirt that kind of matches with our massive front splitter would be this one. It kind of goes down as low, and it's also not too much of a far stretch from, like, not lining up with the back, because we used to have the splitter on, or not the splitter, the diffuser in the back that kind of meshed a little bit better, but like I said, I don't like how far it hangs down. I wish we could have, like, a little lip just on the sides of the rear, but can't always get what you want, so we want these carbon skirt extensions. They don't really peek out too much. They kind of stay with the track, with the wheels, so they look pretty nice. For the spoiler, we actually went with the low spoiler this time. I don't know. I got really tired of the ducktail. I don't know what it is, just the ducktail is nice, and I love the little lip, but I don't know. I just think that Skylines just look so much better with some kind of spoiler. And this one managed to match those body lines really well. As you can see, like, the bottom right here of the, I'll probably put like an arrow up on the screen in editing, but the bottom, like, kind of curvature of that spoiler matches perfectly with the body line of that, like, semi-wide body kit in the back, or the fender extension, I guess, fender flare, I guess I should say. But I don't know, I really like it. Carbon was just too much for me, so we just went with the regular low spoiler. There's not really any other spoilers I really like other than the RS. Maybe the tuner, but it's a bit big. And then, of course, like, the little, like, Rocket Bunny lips. Suspension, we have this bitch lowered all the way down, just so we can stance it later on and make it look pretty nice, or camber it, whatever word you would prefer. Transmission, we have maxed out, of course. Turbo, maxed out, of course. And the wheels, we went with the new Street Wild Wagon wheels. Now, I've actually had three different versions of wheels on this car before, and the one you'll see in the intro, I'm pretty sure we have the Indo V2s on, which are more of like a Nismo style rim, and I really did like those, but I've just really gotten tired of that little chrome centerpiece not matching anything else on the car. And after that, we also went with the stock wheels, and we actually painted the stock wheels. Like, if you go back and forth with the paint, you can kind of tell that you could paint these, and they didn't really look too bad, but now we have them in street also, so I can scroll down to them, we'll probably find them in street. Yeah, these are basically the stock wheels. But I don't know, I just really like the Wild Wagons. I like how they're kind of like bead locked in. They look pretty nice. I don't know, I just really like how all of the I don't know, I just like all the lines, really, I guess I should say. It looks nice, and it looks like a pretty aggressive rim, and it's a little deep dish too. It's got a little bit of a lip on it, so kind of like it pretty well. It kind of, I feel like wide body cars always need some kind of deep dish rim on them, so that's why these kind of worked out pretty well for me. Wheel color itself, I went with the carbon black to, again, kind of match the rest of the carbon on this car. I wish Rockstar would give us some actual materials for rims, like carbon and... Because, I mean, we already have chrome, but, like, we don't have carbon, satin, like a glossy version of the rim. If you put something on it, really just kind of looks matte. And, I don't know, I just don't really like how any of the colors looked. But for some reason, black kind of has a pearlescent on it. Like, the carbon gives it a little bit of a pearlescent compared to a lot of other colors. So I went with the carbon. We don't have any kind of tire designs. Do not put bulletproof tires on your car, especially if you like cambering your car or doing speed glitches like myself. It's not worth it. We don't have any tire smoke. And last but not least, we'll go with a light smoke. I don't really like my cars to be too tinted out. I like to still be able to see the defrost lines in the back a little bit. I feel like it kind of gives a little bit of character to the car. Because just straight blacking it out, I don't know. You just can't, I don't know. It's really hard to drive in first person too. And with all the customization that we've done to the interior, I like for you to be able to see at least some of it. So it's kind of what we went with that. So now we're going to go ahead and take the car outside.
See you next time.
And I'll show you guys just how amazing the color is. Alright, so I absolutely love this car. Like I've said many times in the past, it is my favorite car in the game. It's just gorgeous. I don't know why. I absolutely love the customization that I've done to it. I like the version 2 much better than the version 1. It's beautiful. The color on this car pops so well at night, especially under street lights. I'll take it to the tunnel over here next to Los Angeles Customs. I'll show you just how much it actually glows in the dark. But in the light, you don't even really need a pearlescent on this. This thing just glows so much more, and it looks so good as like a solid color. It looks really glossy. So we didn't really need a pearlescent on this thing, to be honest. So we're gonna take it to the tunnel real quick. I'll show you guys just how much it kind of glows in the dark in here. Like, you get it up like under one of these lights. Look at that. It is so bright. This is the brightest orange that you can get in the game, to my knowledge, with the, obviously, the modded crew color. It's literally just called neon orange, but we call it bar times 2 orange around here, if you're from around here. So yeah, if you do want the color, all you gotta do is just go back in the video, look at the hex code, and make it for yourself. If you're already in the crew, you should be able to slap it right on. Of course, I think you do have to hit like level 5 or 10, maybe 25 in a crew to put it on any car. Can't remember for sure. So just do keep that in mind if you do make your own crew and put the hex code in, that you do need to be like a level 10, I think, to have it on your primary and secondary. But with that, I hope you guys really enjoyed seeing my rendition of the GTRs. I love this car to death. I wish it was more based on just one generation of the GTR, but at the same time, it is kind of nice to have just a bunch of them mixed together. And I'm sure Rockstar would have had licensing issues if they had just based it off of one car. Now, the car this is most notably based off of is obviously the R32 because of the tail lights and the just overall shape of the car. Looks more like the R32, but it does have customization parts from other generations, so we always have to keep that in mind when we're thinking about what car this is based off of. But last but not least, I'm just going to go drive over here real quick, show you guys what this car looks like stanced with the new version. And I think you guys are going to enjoy what it looks like, to be honest. I'm trying to find like a nice little parking lot to get away from traffic at. This was one of the first cars I learned how to camber cars in this game with. And it's kind of revolutionary to come back and bring it as a version 2 and do the same thing. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. And also that carbon lip that I added to it is actually pretty nice and fits pretty flush with the ground when this thing's cambered. Oh yeah, first side's already looking good. It'll drop a little bit more when we get this side done. Keep in mind, this is why we don't put bulletproof tires on cars. Alright, and there we go. Get a little flashlight on it. Look at how flush it looks. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. I'm absolutely in love with this car, and I don't think Rockstar will ever top the design of this car. but I don't know. It's just one of my favorite cars in game, and it always has been. It'll always be a symbol of this channel, no matter what. If we quit making GTA videos, this will still probably be a symbol of just the times we had, like right now, having fun. It's kind of what my whole channel stands for, is just standing out, staying motivated, and doing what you want to do, not following the crowd, because I feel like that's a big problem of like a lot of people in this world. Just feel like they need to fit in, so they want to follow the crowd, but that's why we do things a little differently around here. And God, it looks so gorgeous as the sunlight's starting to go across the car. You can really tell like the difference in the color. It's beautiful. Love this car to death, and it's a big symbol of what we do here. So really hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I hope to see some of you guys driving around with this car. I've seen a lot of people after I made the first video on how to make the version 1 of my intro car, so I hope to see some more people in just random GTA free mode. I'll probably shout you out or like say what's up, text you on GTA. And so yeah, have fun with it. If you have like a whole YouTuber garage, you can add this thing in there. Our good friend Ghostly FE's hopefully going to make his version of his truck. I believe he's actually going with a truck to kind of stand out for his channel. So he should be making a video about that also pretty soon. I'm trying to get him back into YouTube. Like I said, we both did get reset on GTA, so getting everything back and getting back into things was kind of hard. It took a lot of grinding, months upon months of just sitting back and just trying to grind. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be talking to you guys, and just thank you so much for all the support you've given me. So, as we're ending off on a good note here, I love you guys dearly and truly. Stay safe out there in the crazy world we live in, and drive safe and drive fast. Love you guys. It's been your boy Bar Times 2, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.